Hey friends, it's Elizabeth here from the Everyday Storyteller, and I am back with a new ink swatching video. Today I am swatching some inks that I got from Vanness Pens. I will have their link down below. All right, so a few things here on my table that I am using: the eyedropper tool, a lid of something that I use to create my samples, and then I also have my Ferris press Carousel pen in Malibu Blush. So I took the feed out of this pen and converted it into a dip pen, and so far it works really well. So I'm going to continue doing that today to do my writing samples for each one of these inks. All right, so we have 8 different inks to swatch out today. There are 9 ink vials here because I actually purchased 2 of the same ink by mistake. This was an ink that I was really excited to get a sample of, and I apparently was so excited that I got 2 of them, even though I only wanted 1. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so I am swatching my inks in this Traveler's Notebook insert. This is the lightweight insert, so it is Tomoe River paper. I'm going to be using this, and also I will be swatching all of these inks on their own coloring card. I am switching up how I swatch on my coloring card. If you watched previous So if you've watched previous ink swatching videos with my coloring cards, I would just put a splotch and then the writing sample, and I am going to be adding a little bit of ink on the border here so that when I'm holding my cards like this, I can kind of tell what the ink colors are, because right now the ink sample is pretty far up there and it makes it hard when you're just kind of flipping through. You can't really see what inks. All right, so I have a couple of different ink companies that I'm trying out that are new to me, that I've heard so much good things about that I wanted to try out, and one of those is Van Dieman. So I have 3 Van Dieman inks, or is it Van Dieman? Van Dieman? I'm gonna go with Van Dieman. If that's not right, I'm sorry. So I have 3 of those. A couple of them have shimmer, and then one of them doesn't. It might actually be 2 of them. Oh no, this one definitely has shimmer. So let's start with the regular one first. All right, so our first ink that we're going to swatch here is Van Dieman's Harvest Peanut Brittle. This is supposed to be a golden yellow that is reminiscent to the harvest of fruits and vegetables in Tasmania. Van Dieman is an Australian ink company, so I'm really excited to test this one out. This one is not a shimmer ink, so I'm not shaking it or anything, and I don't have an ink vial holder, so I always put my inks back with a cap on, even though I'm going to use them again for my writing sample, just because I don't want to spill any of my ink. I have done that before. All right, so right off the bat, I'm really loving this color. I ended up choosing a lot of fall colors this time, weirdly. I guess I must be in the fall mood, but they were really speaking to me. So this is kind of a orangey yellow with a little bit of brown. It's a pretty simple ink from what I am seeing of it, but I really do like it. I'm just gonna dip that one more time. I would say that this probably has an average flow, usually average. I have to refill after writing and then refill again. So not dry like some of my previous inks have been, but a pretty average flow. I kind of like how it's going from a lighter yellow to more of a yellow brown in my writing sample. That's really pretty. So I'm also going to be using a paintbrush, and this is the first time that I've done this, so hopefully I don't mess it up too bad. I'm going to use a paintbrush to just add the color to the bottom So that is Van Diemen's Harvest Peanut Brittle, which is a lovely golden yellow color. I love the way that it is shading to a little bit darker of a brownish orange in the writing sample. I hope that that continues once I put it in a pen, but so far, really love this. It kind of reminds me of like a gourd, like a fall gourd that you might put on your table, which I love. And then here on the Tomoe River paper, similar. I can see a little bit of, I believe that's kind of a gray hue or halo right there where it's starting to get darker. But again, I would call this a goldeny yellow with some brown, definitely, in the higher ink areas. So that is the first one. All right, so this is another Van Diemen ink. This is from their Birds of a Feather line, and it's called Anna's Hummingbird Wing. I was introduced to their Birds of a Feather line from Simone. I don't know that she swatched this particular one, but she kind of introduced me to the Van Diemen brand, and I thought it would be really fun to try them out. This is described as a lily pad green with green shimmer. Ooh, that is very, very pretty. All right, so that is definitely a darker green than I thought it was going to be, unless it dries in a different color. Let's see how it writes. Giving it another shake so that I can disperse the shimmer particles. I would definitely say that that is a little bit more of a wet writer because I was literally able to dunk it once and do the entire writing sample, which usually tells me that it is a semi-wet writer. Ooh, you can start seeing that green shimmer right there. I'm gonna wait until it's a little bit more dry to show you guys, but definitely can see it here in real life. All right. So I'm just gonna let that dry for a second. I may have oversaturated a little bit. That's a lot of ink right there. So I'm gonna let that dry and come back to it in a second. You can see over here on the Tomoe River paper that it is still drying as well. So I am just gonna go to the next one. So this is another Van Diemen. This is Van Diemen's Wilderness Hastings Cave. I did notice that there was a new formulation of this color and then an old formulation. I got the old one. I chose the old one because it seemed a little bit more of the color that I was going for. This particular one is supposed to be a medium yellow with a silver shimmer. Interesting. Right, so this is not really what I was thinking this color would look like. That was not the ink's fault. That was the fact that there was a water droplet on there. So this is Van Diemen's Wilderness Hastings Cave, the old formulation. This is definitely a different yellow than I was necessarily expecting. Reminds me of Unpleasant Things. But it does have a really pretty silver shimmer that you can see right there in the middle. The one on the Tomoe River paper is still drying, and it looks like it seeped a teeny bit more. Also, don't mind the writing sample. I literally stuck my hand right in it. So, yeah. I don't mind it right here when I just use the paintbrush. I like the yellow a little bit more, but I definitely feel like this is kind of a hit or miss for me. All right, so while we're waiting for this one to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this one. This is J. Herbin Vert Atlantide. So this particular J. Herbin is supposed to be a dark forest green with gold and silver shimmer. So I'm really excited for that. This is exactly the color that I would describe the ocean during a cloudy day. And it has that really, really gorgeous gold shimmer, the gold and silver shimmer that you can see right there, as well as a kind of a black halo. Might actually be just a darker green, but it kind of looks like a black or dark green halo around it where the ink pools. Super excited to see this one in a fountain pen. All right, so next up is the Diamine Shimmertastic in Lilac Satin. So this color is not my usual color. This is definitely a very vibrant purple, but I'm really hoping that I like this color because it is so vibrant and gorgeous here in the ink vial. And I'm so excited that it actually kept that same vibrance in the sample. Let's see how it looks like when we're writing. So one of the things that I find with purple inks especially is that they tend to be desaturated and really hard to read when you write with them. But this one is super vibrant, super purple. I love the shimmer that's coming through. It's in the writing sample, even though I didn't shake it again before I wrote. So I definitely think that the Diamine Shimmertastic in Lilac Satin is going to be a new favorite. I'm just going to add that little ink sample down at the bottom of my coloring card, and we're going to move on to the next one. All right, so now we have a favorite of mine, or a favorite brand of mine, Robert Oster. This is called African Gold. From the website, it looks like this is a mustardy yellow color. This one does not have any shimmer, but it is supposed to have some shading. So, you can't tell, I've been really into my orangey yellows lately. So far I like this better than the Van Diemen's Hastings Cave, even though it's a very similar yellow, but this one is definitely warmer. I feel like the reason that Hastings Cave is just a little bit too yellow for me is because, one, it has a lot of green, and I feel like this is a little bit more of a cool tone of yellow. The silver shimmer is cool and very apparent, but I don't know that I would actually put that color in a pen just because it's not my favorite shade of yellow. This one, on the other hand, definitely a lot more gold, and a lot deeper, which I really like. All right, so this is a brand new ink company to me. This is 3 Oysters, and so far I'm really loving it. This ink looks super well behaved, which I like. This is not a shimmer or a huge shading ink, but I really like the red. So this is Chili Red. It kind of reminds me, I wouldn't necessarily say a Christmas red, but kind of close. So that's pretty fun. All right, so I saved the one that I was looking forward to the most for last. This is Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea, and this is supposed to be like a russet orange with medium shading. This isn't a shimmer ink or anything like that. All right, so this is definitely a brownish orange, and I love it. I can see myself using this for fall because it's just that perfect pumpkin color. I also have a pen coming from the Endless Pens sale that I specifically matched this ink to. So I'm really hoping that it actually is a good match. I haven't gotten the pen yet because it was a pre-order, but I'm really excited to see this ink in that pen because I think it will be a really good match. All right, so this is how my Vanness Pen ink sample haul turned out. As you can see, the Van Diemen's Birds of a Feather Anna's Hummingbird Wing, that is a gorgeous green with a beautiful green shimmer. That's probably one of my favorites of this entire ink sample order. Definitely really pretty. I can't wait to get that into a pen. It looks like it writes really wet, and hopefully it's well behaved, because that one definitely going into a pen in August. All right, so those are the ink swatches that I have for you today on Col-o-ring cards and also on Tomoe River paper. A couple of favorites, definitely that Van Diemen's Birds of a Feather Anna's Hummingbird Wing. I love the green combined with a green shimmer. I can't wait to put that into a pen. The Van Diemen's Hastings Cave, again, not one of my favorites, but not as bad as I originally thought it was going to be. I love the Van Diemen's Harvest Peanut Brittle though, so I'm definitely going to be using that this fall in one of my fountain pens. And also a favorite is the J. Herbin Vert Atlantide. So definitely a surprise favorite for me in this haul is the Three Oysters Chili Red. It is definitely a gorgeous, gorgeous red. I'm not usually drawn to reds, but this one is just so vibrant and so fantastic. I'm definitely excited to use it in a pen, maybe in August. I'd love to know which of these is your favorite. Leave me a comment down below with your pick. Thank you so much for watching this video and coming along with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye.